Our top story tonight, some going down in November.
Wars, spending.
There has got to be something big a-brewing.
They're using geese to guard prisons in Brazil. Does Biden know what
Immigration
Mexico
policies.
is? Would you scare Joe Biden? What are we laughing at? I think
Butthole.
Billy Mays was real.
I'm a world-class skeptic.
I don't know anything about Hunter Biden. I don't know who's big into cocaine and laptops. Why is that our problem? Complete, absolute incompetence. Like, who funds the news? It's a freaking inside job, man. The entire world's a stage and everything's fake.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Touch Me Tuesdays, where we talk about the things that touched me this week. And hopefully, if we're lucky on this bright and shiny late spring Tuesday, we can touch you too, because we like to touch things here on the Veritas Road. John is touching things right now over there. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but he's touching
I'm
stuff.
moving my second monitor a little closer to me because I could see it very well.
Sorry to hear that.
And, undo the bolt because it's just angled at the most horrific angle. And I don't like that, but I'll do that later. I'll just suffer tonight.
Thank you for sharing. Guys, before we get going, a couple of things to discuss. Go check out the latest show he did with Andrew from the 6G Agenda. That was a good time. I think he's re-airing that on his channel. And you said a couple of days, I believe, John.
Yeah, I saw
And
it premiere. It'll come on our channel on Saturday.
okay, I was gonna say I can't remember the date that it's coming on our channel. I better get up my calendar here before I start talking out of my ass.
Yeah, I mean the live stream's up if you want to catch the live stream, but if you want to catch it on all the audio platforms, it'll show up there on Saturday.
That makes sense. So for all you people who listen on the Spotify or the Apple or wherever people listen to wherever you listen to podcasts, if you want to catch that show there, it'll be up
Apple
Saturday.
Podcast, I saw has a picture now.
Were you able to get in? I couldn't get.
I don't know how to do that, but
right.
it's there. So you Apple Podcast listeners, at some point, will be able to watch the video in there when I figure it out.
Okay. Well, we have been locked out of our account, and John, I told you that I got in. I didn't. So. That was to my personal Apple account, not the one that's associated with the show.
If you didn't say anything, I wouldn't have even known that because I didn't even know.
I texted you and you responded. So there's that. So that for anybody who's wondering, this is people wonder why I don't text people. This is why. This is why I don't text people back, because I sent John something and he must have seen it at some point.
I'm going to rebut you here.
Am I incorrect?
Yes, you said Apple recovery in the works, should know more this time tomorrow. And then your text tomorrow, which was heading this way, stopping by Kroger. So you never mentioned an update on your Apple account.
Damn it. Well, I thought I got it figured out, but I didn't.
Okay. Well, you could have kept that to yourself and I would have had no clue, and you would have you wouldn't have sounded as
wouldn't
wrong.
have sounded like a idiot. Yeah. Well, I did anyway. So for you people listening, the show with 6G Agenda will be up this Saturday, the 13th. We'll have, do we have another show coming out before then? I see edited release on the calendar on Friday at 5 p.m. I don't know what that's
I need
about.
to probably move that. That was going to be my edited release schedule, but I changed it to Saturday at 8 p.m.
Okay. John's in charge of editing our full long eps, guys, in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I'm going to change that now because that confuses me.
Okay.
So I'm going to change that and I'm going to fix the time on it so that I don't get confused when I tell the people.
Okay. I'm sure
is that okay with you?
People at home really enjoy our
I'm sure they do.
And I'm sure the people who will listen to this on Spotify on Thursday greatly enjoy that as well.
I'm sure they'll love it too. Yeah. So we have the show with Andrew coming out on the 13th with 6G Agenda. We're going to be going live with Doc Brown from the Prometheus Lens podcast on June 14th at 3 p.m. Central Time. We've got a special Juneteenth stream with Stax and Drew from Stax Farmstead on June 19th, 7 p.m. We've got what's Into the World News? We got Into the World News. Was it Ben? It's Ben, right?
Yeah.
We got Into the World News coming up on June 24th, again 7 p.m. And then we've got the Berean Files coming up on June 10th at 7 p.m. So a lot of stuff coming up. We'll try to find some time for just a regular Veritas Rodep, just me and John hanging out in the studio at some point in there. And then more to come, more exciting stuff to come. So go check out all those people's channels too. Give them a like, give them a follow. I know John has the Berean Files stream up right now. Their show's fantastic. Guys, if you like the show and want to support the show, maybe you want early access to the episodes when they come out, some unedited episodes where you can hear all the cursing instead of having it bleeped out, because that seems to be valuable to some people. And maybe you want to join the Discord, sidle over to the Patreon, check that out. We got a bunch of tiers over there. You will get some stickers, which we still owe some people some sticker packs, I believe, from a long time ago. John, so we need to have a sticker cutting party at some point to send all the people stickers, but you'll get some fun and exciting stickers and some bonus content. So go check that out as soon as possible, because let me tell you, you probably won't regret it, honestly, but think about it, consider it. And as I take a sip of my Earl Grey tea tonight, usually I have a adult beverage on the show, but I've switched to tea during the weekdays because
During the month of June. Yeah.
That's a good point, because it's the month of June, and that's what you do during the month of June. I was feeling a little fey, if you will, feeling a little British, as they say, a little Earl Grey for the that's good for the taint. I hear Earl Grey's good for the taint. Why are you making that face, John? You never heard that?
I haven't.
Oh, well, there's a first time for everything. All that time studying holistic healthcare really paid off. Earl Grey's good for the taint. So now you know.
Is that actually true, or are you just being an ass?
I have no clue, man.
Okay.
Who's worried about the taint?
I don't know. You said it with such conviction. I was curious.
That's true. So if you want a luscious taint with a nice oily sheen, drink Earl Grey tea.
This is going on too long.
I think it's very important. Speaking of nothing whatsoever, we got to get the show started though. So, over the past little bit, it seemed like we've had a lot of things going on in the media, be it the Iran war, be it Corona. Like, there's been a lot of shit going on to scare people, and a lot of it seems to have been focused on scaring people kind of into their homes. Like, you used to scare people stiff, you used to scare them gay, I don't know, but now we're trying to scare people into their homes, and they're using some weird tactics these days. Let's take a listen.
Like indestructible. And also with the rise of alpha gal in the United States, becoming so prominent that people are scared to go into the woods. What's going on with the chicken nowadays? Yeah, what you see behind me is all ticks. But before we go over indestructible ticks and the chicken, I want to show you something. My buddy Connecting Conscious just made a video about this. Just listen to what he has to say real quick.
The crazy part is, if it's anything like rats, there's not known to be many rats in the interior of Canada up here or in the States here because of the mountains. They can't really get over the mountains apparently. But these ticks, I guess if they happen to fall out of a plane, they could get anywhere, couldn't they? Now, I'm of course not suggesting that anyone's finding any boxes of anything on their farms and stuff, although I have seen a bunch of videos about it. But who do you blame on that when there's no name on the box, no trademark, no property of mention on the box? It's just a blank box that a million ticks crawl out of.
And now it gets really weird because these new ticks, they don't drown. And for some reason, I feel like if you took a match to one, they would still stay alive as well. So bajillions of ticks everywhere, especially where they're not usually even seen. Ticks that survive underwater like fish. All of a sudden, so much of humanity in the United States is getting alpha gal, and now the chickens are evolving to where you cannot even eat them. Yo, This is life in 2026. What even is going on? Look
Okay.
at this.
I really don't
Y'all.
know what's going on with that chicken that's on there. It looks like weird, like strings of spaghetti almost. I have no idea what the hell is happening with that chicken. But with this alleged tick issue, I I, I know there have been like documentaries on ticks, and sometimes people get allegedly bitten by ticks and get Lyme disease, but the amount of focus that's been shoveled onto this whole tick thing within the last, I mean, when did this stuff start? Like 3 months ago, maybe, where
Mhm.
everybody started just flipping over ticks and alpha gal. And it doesn't appear to be let's start here. It started so abruptly, and now it doesn't appear to be really tapering off in any kind of natural way. So it does make me wonder if it's manufactured to some degree. I'm not saying like alpha gal is fake or anything. I'm aware of some people who have dealt with it, and it does appear to be problematic. But the fact that it started so quick, it gives me almost like there are certain things now that kick off my corona meter, my Fauci senses start tingling. And I wonder if there's some kind of concerted effort to just make people just scared, to just scare people inside, like gas is what, like $80 a gallon or some shit out there. What is it? Like it's like four something here, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
Which is outrageous. Then you had this tick thing in, you got Iran, you still got people out there like what, it just seems like another ploy to scare people into not leaving their homes.
Yeah.
And sure, like that's a creepy video of a bunch of ticks crawling all over a truck. It's creepy, it's uncomfortable, it's gross. Ticks are disgusting. I found one on my scrotum once, and it was just one of the worst experiences of my life. I was like 15, and I'm not even sure I knew what a tick was at that point. I was not an intelligent 15-year-old, and it was I had to rip a tick. I was probably younger than 15. I knew what a scrotum was at 15. But point being, I was probably like 11.
I was so confused, but you said I didn't know what a tick was when I was 15. It was like, you were.
Oh, did I cross my? I meant I didn't know what a scrotum was.
Well,
I didn't know the word scrotum.
That's not better.
Yeah,
that was
well, it's
just
different. It's different. I found a tick on my scrotum, and panicked and just full force ripped it off. I mean, it was like, you ever like panic, like brush a bug off of you? I did that, but to my with a tick. So I was like grabbing, and it was just a very unpleasant experience all around for me, for the tick, for the round twins downstairs. It was just unpleasant for everybody. But I say all that to say ticks are unnerving, and if you find one on yourself, you're going to be a little uncomfortable. But like, when have you ever seen ticks covering a truck like that? One of two things is true: either some of these videos are just fake. Like we've talked ad nauseum about AI and how much is going on out there where they're just completely faking things, and it's borderline impossible to tell at this point, or that's real, and they're much like they're dropping boxes of mosquitoes, or what was that other dropping boxes of rabies all across the country. Maybe somebody's dropping boxes of ticks. I don't know. We can all agree that seeing that many ticks climbing over a truck is weird, but how that's happening, what the hell's actually going on? I mean, who has any idea? The fact of the matter is this narrative is being used to just make people afraid of outside, as we have many times in the past. I don't know what the end game of that is. Maybe it's to just make people easier to control. John, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm so exhausted by this, like this whole thing, because, you know, I joke all the time. It's just, you know, tuck your pants into your boots and buy a match in case one gets on you and you'll be fine.
Right.
You know, you can only ride the fear so far to where it just doesn't work anymore. And it's like, I don't really know how, I don't really see an end game that much to this.
And that's
You
what I
know,
can't figure out
like
either. It's weird.
I don't see an end game to just the narrative. Is like it would have to like fill itself out to where you like actually do mass and like mass introduce these
Ticks.
well, yeah, but I'm trying to think like they're probably not natural. If that video is to be believed, this is not like a natural brooding of ticks, but you would have to like mass introduce them into the environment
Yeah.
to kind of spread this like, you know, disease of like stopping people from being able to eat red meat. And like I can see that being an end game, right? For sure, because it's like, you know, disrupting the most nutritious source of food on the face of the earth. Like if you're trying to, you know, disrupt the way humanity's supposed to be, then that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
But to do that would have to be like a massive undertaking. And like, I don't know, I almost view it as a little bit of like you have to like really overplay your hand a little bit. And I just don't know if that doesn't seem like that's reality, you know?
Yeah, and that's why I am a little bit skeptical of the whole concept. And you're right. Like, what's up, Zigzag? I don't even know where Pagosa Springs is, but I hope you're having a good time. It does seem like that you're right, John. That would be a lot of work to put into whatever the hell is going on. What up, Q? I am feeling a little gay tonight, man. I'm drinking some Earl Grey. It's June, bud. It's Pride Month. Gotta drink my tea. I'm wearing a comfy hoodie. You know? So yeah. It yeah, between I think you're talking about not knowing what their end game is. I think it's potentially twofold. Like people are so much easier to control when they're terrified. Yes, Q, it's hot tea. What other kind of tea would it be? Q said he hates me for anybody who's listening. And you know, I kind of hate myself sometimes, Q, but you know, we've all got to observe the Pride Month, you know. So I'm observing in my own way. I'm drinking tea. Each man worships in it or not. That was bad. All right, moving on.
What the?
Borderline blasphemous. I don't know. Let's just pretend let's move on, John.
I'm very proud of you for stopping that statement.
I'm proud of me too. Yeah.
Retarded.
That's what we do on this show, man.
So good for you for catching yourself before
Thank you, Coach.
Massively sick and stupid. You've grown doing this show. I'm very proud of you.
I've learned just the tiniest amount of self-restraint, and that's valuable. That's valuable. So I think you're talking about not knowing. Sorry, that got me. You're talking about not knowing what the end game is. I think it's those things. Like maybe that's just as obvious as it sounds. You know, sometimes things are what they are. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's as simple as trying to scare people into being more docile, essentially, because that's the way we've pushed the mankind, I guess. Like that's the way we've pushed society over the past I don't know, like 120 years probably, where like, you know, men are doing gay things like drinking hot tea on a Tuesday night. Like we don't have people who are comfortable going outside and roughing it up with the and so people have become this far more docile thing. Like we've made masculine traits, you know, like historically masculine traits, things like you know, objecting to just social behavior, you know, making a scene over somebody being an asshole in public. We've labeled traits like that antisocial. We've almost made them taboo. And it all kind of contributes to this whole effort, I think, to make just people in general far more docile. And then along those same lines, like, have you met a vegan? Have you met somebody who doesn't eat red meat? I mean, when I talk about gay pride, they're all like, none of them have any color to their skin. They all love tofu and butt sex. Like, that's what people who don't eat red meat enjoy. And so it does seem to me like perhaps if this tick thing is some kind of, operation, maybe those are the end game goals. Maybe it's as simple as it sounds,
Yeah.
Anything else before we move on?
I mean, I don't really think so.
On Tickmageddon?
Yeah, this is kind of a tired story that's been going on for the past few months. I'm sick of it,
I mean, same. Let's move the hell on. So, guys, I got a little weird this week on the social media, and I got a little curious because we've covered a lot of, and we're gonna go. You might as well pull all these up just in a row, John, because we're gonna go rapid fire down this list. I got a little curious about what's going on in all these congressional hearings they're having and have been having for a hot minute about 23andMe, about some of these like NIH grants that here's your what some of these NIH grants that people are getting. Like, I just got a little curious. It was twofold. Some of the weirdly hit my social media algorithm this week, and so I was getting a lot of like weird congressional hearings, but also like I've just reached a point where I'm kind of curious, like, what is whatever's going on in that fucking weird auditorium room, like, is that just full on staged? What the hell are these people doing, talking about? And so I went down a weird line of social media reels. Is that what the kids call them these days, John? Reels? You're a young buck. You're a young virile man. And so we're gonna watch a bunch of these, and a lot of these are like wannabe gotcha moments with Brandon Gill, who I have not historically been aware of. John, you like Congress? Are you aware of who he is?
I have no clue, but this guy looks
right.
like he's insufferable.
We're gonna find out. He is exactly the kind of this man is exactly the kind of person were I actually observing Gay Pride Month, I would have jerked off to when I was in high school, and just a full-on like, hell yeah, conservative America, Republicans. This would have been the kind of person I would have been impressed by then.
Okay.
I can't even say this without laughing.
I'm not sure I understand.
Adapting an LGBT plus inclusive teen pregnancy prevention program for transgender boys. I can't even say this without laughing. Do you think that is a useful form of our tax spend?
I am not familiar with that grant, but I think bench research, government investment in scientific and
teen pregnancy
research.
For transgender boys. Do you think that is a useful spend of our tax
wait, pause
dollars?
it right here. What is a transgender boy? Is that somebody with a dick, or is that somebody with a pussy? Chat, I'm genuinely curious. Which one is a transgender boy? Did it start out with a or was it born a girl? I'm honestly not sure. John, do you know?
Yeah, I mean, in their paradigm, isn't that what's the word I'm looking for?
Is that a girl that turns into trying to turn into a boy?
Wouldn't that just net out to wouldn't it net out?
Well, what do you mean? Wouldn't it?
Well, it's like okay, if a transgender boy. I'm now confused.
I think this is me guessing. I think a transgender boy, aside from being is a girl who had allegedly like gender dysphoria and decides to transition into a young man. When I saw this, I thought a transgender boy was a boy who was trying to transition into a woman. So this sounded even more absurd when I watched this. because I was a little bit intoxicated. And it was like, what the kind of birth control? Like, what? Why? Like, what does a transgender? What does a boy need? Yeah. You're right. You're right. For Findelander, I don't even know how to say that, but you're exactly right. It'll never make sense of the that's involved in all the talk. That's so true.
Government investment in all kinds of scientific research is of the utmost importance,
including pregnancy prevention for transgender boys. Okay.
We are.
I can't even say this without laughing.
How is a transgender boy going to get pregnant then? Like, is that
anything any other human who come before
John?
us
We can't see
lived
that.
through?
I'm trying to figure out where it's flying.
Of this, or you still haven't figured out exactly what.
Did you find it?
No,
You must have. It went away. Well, it's
I
not.
muted it. It's
All
not
right.
stopped on my end.
Well, you did a great job. It can't be coming from me, right? Is it me? I don't have anything up. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe it's that link I dropped in the chat. All right. Can you hear me? You good?
I can hear you.
All right. Sweet. Well, I don't know what the hell that was. Let's let's move on from pregnancy prevention in transgender boys, because that's obviously a very important use of government spending to more of this lovely congressional discussion.
Sorry, I had to just mass close out everything because I couldn't figure out where that was coming from.
Oh, dang. All right. We good? Oh, yeah, here it is. So this is a discussion. Go back to the beginning, John. There's no sound. This is a discussion of pronouns that in a I guess an X post this lady put out.
Here's a tweet that you guys put out in June of 2021. I just want to ask you, what does E mean as a pronoun? It's E.
To be honest, I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you know what M means as a pronoun?
I'm also not sure.
Okay. Don't you think it's important to know what these mean? You guys are in this post, you wrote, or somebody on your comms team wrote, that using the correct pronouns impacts trans people's health, can reduce the risk of depression. And it's a pretty serious claim. It seems like if you're going to demand people use these pronouns, you would know what they mean, right?
I delegate. 23andMe had a lot of people. We had 6,
Right.
7.
You were CEO though, right?
I was CEO, but it doesn't
Okay.
mean I can oversee every single post.
Well,
Is this
is
not
a
the dead
very,
YouTube
very
CEO?
Do what?
Is that not the same dead name? The same name as the dead YouTube CEO?
I don't know. Is it?
politically
know.
charged post that you guys put out. I would think that you would have a view on that.
Mhm.
Can you tell us what is the difference between Z and Z? One of them is ZE and one is XE.
I think that's one of my favorites. Let's go ahead and kill it, John.
Does it
Let's
concern
move
you?
on.
that-
And you're right. It is the same name as the YouTube CEO who passed away August 9, 2024 at the age of 56. That lady doesn't look 56 to me.
Oh,
Maybe she's a clone.
okay. They're sisters.
Ah, Neph Hunter coming in clutch already. We're only like not long into this stream. He's already coming in clutch. Perfect. I just love how many genders we've created at this point. Like genders have been fruitful and multiplied, much like the first commandment. And who's keeping track of all this? You know,
Yeah. It's just how they invert all that.
100%, 100%. Let's hit the next one. Go on rapid fire on these.
It's just the same guy that opens.
Those
the same one.
impacts.
Yes.
I'm asking you about this
families.
grant and you're defending it.
Can't see this.
I'm asking you who is birthing people?
I am not familiar with this grant.
Mhm.
I take a position that all kinds of government research, medical,
Is a
pharmaceutical,
birthing person a woman? Is that another
biological-
word for female?
that is outside the scope of my expertise.
Seems like erasure language to me. I've been told that type of vernacular constitutes erasure language. How about another one? How about the conference Gender Equity in the Mathematical Study of Commutative Algebra? Do you think that's a valid form of government spending?
I think mathematical research of all types is deserving of government.
What about
investment.
studying, and this is directly from the National Science Foundation's website, women and non-binary mathematicians.
Again, I think all kinds of government investment should be dedicated toward mathematical.
All kinds of government investment.
scientific.
You don't have any kind of limit on what we're spending our money on, just everything. Is that your testimony?
I am talking about Doge. You brought up.
So am I. This is a grant that Doge cut.
I am not familiar with this particular grant, but
Mhm.
I think government investment in mathematical,
Okay,
biological.
let's do another one. This one is called hashtag transcendent health, adapting an LGB plus inclusive teen pregnancy prevention program for transgender boys.
Okay, so I got curious here. I got curious and wanted to find out if that is in fact the case. Oh, the YouTube Neph Hunter. There's another one, and their dad was some kind of big shot as well in some area. Damn. Okay, so these ladies are like a powerhouse twins, or I guess not twins anymore because one's dead, but they're powerhouse sisters at one point. Now they're half of a powerhouse duo. But I got curious about that article he was quoting, and I just wanted to find out if that is in fact a study that was conducted, that was funded, and I looked it up, and on NIH, I pulled the actual report, John, if you want to pull it up. It is hashtag transgender health, adapting an LGB plus. Sounds weird without the Q. Honestly, it's not Q. You're missing. We're missing Q from the LGBTQ. That's unfortunate. Adapting an LGB plus inclusive teen pregnancy prevention program for transgender boys. So which one's a transgender boy again? Because I'm confused. Yet again, is that a girl? Is that a girl? Is that like a 15-year-old girl who wants a penis?
I have no clue. The article I pulled up has a bunch of shit highlighted.
Yes, it highlights all the terms. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the first sentence of this abstract is ridiculous. If you read it, it says youth who are assigned female at birth, also abbreviated as AFAB, and identify as transgender, for example, is non-binary or as trans boys, not as girls, are at risk for negative sexual health outcomes, yet are effectively excluded from sexual health programs because gender diverse youth do not experience the let me try to get this right. Because gender diverse youth do not experience the cisgender heteronormative teen sexual education messaging available to them as salient or applicable. This lack of programming is likely to create obstacles to sexual health, and data suggests that trans-identified youth may be less likely to use condoms. So you're telling me that you're telling me that I almost said that retardedly. I almost said you're telling me that a trans boy who is actually a girl is less likely to use a condom for her non-existent because she doesn't get the right sex education. Is that what I'm to understand from this article? I mean, am I interpreting that incorrectly?
No, this is just the most degenerate and disgusting shit I've ever read.
Yes, two problems with all this. Okay, so on the surface, this is obviously disgusting, right? So you're taking children, you're taking people who aren't even like they're too rich to know what's going on around them. Okay, we've all been 15. I would have probably half of my family for at 15. Okay, no one knows what the hell is going on. Half of these kids are spending quite literally like 18 hours a day playing video games and jerking off. All right, so you're taking people who are functionally and telling them because they don't feel like they fit in at school, they must be transgender. That's problem number one. Problem number two, and I would argue this is the bigger issue, is they're creating, and we mentioned this a lot on this show, but they're creating essentially an absurd, kind of enigmatic thing out there for people to react to. Okay, they're creating this fake like group of people for folks to react. This doesn't represent more than like 12 people across the country, I'm pretty sure. Definitely the Waj, I can't even say that name. The Polish sisters, one ran YouTube, the other one ran 23andMe. Their dad's a physicist and worked at Stanford. I wonder if he's involved in CERN too. That'd be interesting to find out. That's nowhere near CERN's nowhere near Stanford, but just because he's a physicist, it makes me wonder. I just wanted to.
Okay. I was wondering where the connection was.
Yeah.
There.
I just see physicists.
California and Switzerland are a long way away from.
They are. They're always. They're quite a bit apart. Yeah. I felt like that needed to be said. I understand how I sounded with that coming out of my mouth. So we're creating this almost enigmatic, like fake group of people for folks to react to, for folks to get caught up arguing with, for folks to get angry at. And none of that behavior is functionally useful. Like, it's not spiritually good for anybody. It's not functionally good for anybody. You're not making your life or your family better by getting pissed off at some kind of attractive lady in Elton John glasses. Like, that's not helping anyone. And so I feel like all that's doing is simply just harvesting the attention of like rational thinking people. Like, the people who get pissed at this are perfectly rational. I'm not saying you're if you get angry at it. I think you absolutely should get angry at that type of behavior. I think that's perfectly rational. But what's not rational is devoting an inordinate amount of time, energy, and attention into like talking about how these people are and grilling them in Congress. Okay, it's not doing anyone any good. This girl's functionally okay. Whatever Superman looking politician this guy isn't helping anybody by just pointing out repeatedly how functionally she is. This is another reason, like, I'm beginning to think more and more this in Congress is staged just like your high school play, except the directing's worse. You know? Like, that's what I'm beginning to think, is it's completely staged, but it's just worse writing, you know? Like, we had kids in the drama club that were better writers than whoever the hell is writing the scripts for whatever's going on in Congress. I mean, let's go on to the next one. I swear this shit's staged. John, you're doing great. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Piss off. Gosh, so loud.
And that like weird smile he gets on his face when he's like, I gotcha. You won't say that a woman's a woman. I gotcha. Like, that's what you're proud of, bro? And I mean, I guess good for you. Like, that woman is, and you're pointing it out, but like that's where we're spending our energy. John, you got it yet?
It's playing on my end.
Oh, it's not on this end. You have your damn.
Fuck,
You share your damn window.
I shared the wrong tab.
Yeah,
let's try again. Hearing the audio of that.
That nonprofits do.
Excuse me, that's a very simple
country.
question. Yes or no question. Are you a racist?
I'm not a racist.
You make that big.
Particularly interesting because according to one of your affiliate charities under your nonprofit umbrella, denial of racism constitutes covert white supremacy. Are you a covert white supremacist?
Sir, I'm here to talk about the essential work that nonprofits
Are you a
do.
covert white supremacist?
Can I talk about the work that nonprofits do? In
No,
your
I'm
district?
asking you if you're a
'Cause I think that's
covert white supremacist, which according to one of your own organizations, again, denial of racism constitutes covert white supremacy. Would you like to answer the question?
I don't know what the question
So
is.
you refuse to answer whether you are a covert white supremacist.
I am here to talk about the work that nonprofits do. If you'd like to ask me a
I am
question
utterly
about
dumbfounded.
nonprofits
You are on
in your
record right now,
district
and you will
or
not say
throughout
that
the
you are not a
country.
covert white supremacist.
What the hell? All right. So, I mean, that is such a just interaction between two people. I can't imagine a world where that's not scripted. I just can't imagine a world where that's not scripted. I can't.
No.
It's so functionally. I mean, I've met people before, right? But that lady clearly doesn't have the syndrome. Okay, she looks like a normal person. Are we supposed to believe this is real? I mean, are we really playing these scripts out in front? The only times I start to believe that it's a little bit real is when creepy. Go ahead and pull up the next one, John. Is when creepy like what comes out during this next clip comes into play. So, Josh Hawley, another one of those. I think he's a senator. Another one of those like gotcha people in Congress. Again, who I would have just gotten all excited about back in like 2015, right? Was grilling the I think it's a current CEO of 23andMe about the data that they keep. And this is an excerpt from that what do they call that? Line of questioning, examination, I don't know what to call it. Anyway, here you go.
Your privacy code, your privacy commitment said that consumers had a right not to have their information shared with anybody else without their consent. I mean, I've got your privacy statement right here. It says that without their consent, you can't share their information. You're about to sell it.
Senator, what the fuck is that?
Consent is essentially for
Dude, yeah.
Not real.
Not share for research purposes.
Tell me that's not a trans boy who needs birth control.
For research purposes.
So when you tell the consumer, give us your personal information and we'll take money from you, and we won't give it to anybody without your consent, it's not real. It just means, maybe kind of depends on the day.
Hell yeah, William. CC23. Dudes with dick are more important than building roads and bridges.
They have the right at all times to access that information. They can edit it.
Well, sure they can, but you're about to sell it to who knows who. They can't control it. You said to Senator Moody that consumers have complete control of their data.
Skip to a minute 30, John.
How can they have complete control if you're about to sell it without, even if you, and then it goes on, 23andMe and or our contracted genotyping laboratory will retain your genetic information even if you choose to delete your account.
Senator, 23andMe, it does not retain any genetic.
How is this guy a CEO? He can't even talk.
Once they delete their account. We do.
It says right here that you will retain genetic information, including date of birth and sex, even if you choose to delete your account. This is your privacy policy. I'm just quoting from it.
Senator, to the best of my knowledge, we do not maintain any genetic information.
It says even if you choose to delete your account, we will.
All right, pause that. William, Josh Hawley looks like he used genetic information to gel his hair. And Q, an uncharacteristically sober thought from Q. When you think it looks blatantly fake, then listen to your gut and or instinct. If you allow your emotion to become involved, you'll never see the truth. Q, that's so true, man. That's so true. But, I mean, we just did our show on clones. Guys, if you want more information on that, go check that out. Can't remember. Did we put any of those links in the show notes for the clones app, John? If we didn't, I'll try to remember to go back and put some of the docs in there. I mean, so if you're watching this and you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? That's weird. Go watch the clones app and then come back to us right now, okay? But
well, that's like 2.5 hours. Watch it after this.
Well, you understand my point. Anyway, where the hell was I? Go watch the clones app and come back to this if you're listening to this recorded, not live, obviously. Anyway, I mean, you want to talk about the potential to just replace people. You want to talk about the potential to splice terrifying, like, other things inside of people's DNA. Like, this is the perfect opportunity to be able to do that. People who are taking swabs of their cheek or their dick or whatever people are taking swabs of, sending them off to 23andMe and just letting them have their genetic information. Like, that is such an insane thing to do. Now, I'm reaching a point where I'm not sure I even, like, I'm going to have to do some digging into what DNA actually may or may not be. Like this whole like A, T, G, and N type, like I'm not even sure, because that was fed to me in like 8th grade, right? As part of that slavicational system. I wonder if it's even what they say it is, right? Because we're all told like, well, DNA is the stuff that makes you who you are. You know, it's in your DNA. And I mean, there's got to be some truth to it, right? There's truth to all of the shit they push out there and all of these like mystery schools of science, right? But I wonder if it works the way they say it to. Be that as it may, the stark reality is there is a company out there that's run by some kind of weird Jewish Jim Henson hand puppet in a yellow tie that's keeping and storing all of your genetic information. And if you don't think that the idea of potentially cloning people, replacing people is a reality, go back and check out the Clones Ep, folks. But like, are they splicing Nephilim DNA into these people's system? Are they trying to make chimeras? Are they actually cloning people in labs? Like, whatever's going on, though, it can't be good, right? Take what you know about 23andMe off the table and just look at that weird, gross, just goblin. Like, that guy's not doing anything good with his spare time, okay? Jerking off in strip clubs is probably the nicest thing that guy will do this week, okay? And so the fact that people are trusting that gross, greasy with what a lot of us believe is the very fabric of what makes you who you are is insane. And now, last congressional video, guys, I just went on a weird binge this week where I was just watching videos of interviews in Congress. This is the last one, and it is perhaps the most disturbing one. So if you're squeamish, I don't know, deal with it. Yeah.
Probably help if I share my screen.
That would be a good first step, John. Not trying to tell you how to do your job, but that would be a good first step.
If this video doesn't get removed from this platform, so you should watch this now and download it while you still can, because I kid you not, it sounds like a horror movie.
Implant aborted baby parts into lab animals. Have you heard of that sort of research?
Yeah, we did an analysis a few years ago showing that over 90% of experiments with using human fetal tissue and putting them involved animals were funded by Fauci's NIAID.
Do you know where they're getting the aborted human fetal tissue?
A lot of it is happening at colleges and universities that have affiliated hospitals that perform that procedure.
Madam Chair, I think we need to look into that as well.
So guys, this video is for entertainment purposes only, right? But I want to make clear, she is basically saying they're using the parts from new souls. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying here. She's saying they're using them and combining them with other animals. Now look, or what side you're on. If you don't even think this should be investigated, even if this.
Okay, so two really, really big issues here. One's more important than the other, and I'll let the people decide what it is. The first one is this guy just openly admitted to them taking portions of aborted fetal organs, I guess, and implanting them into animals to see what the hell happens. I mean, that is straight up literal chimera. Okay, that is. I mean, that's terrifying. That's like Nephilim fall of humanity type that these people are doing. Okay, people are taking pieces of babies and implanting them into animals. There's no other way to say that. There's no nice way to put that. There's no not like gross, creepy, terrifying way to couch that. And this is part of my problem with the way people try to dress up language in, nice circles when you show up at church in your nice suit and tie and you want to talk about how bad Jeffrey Epstein is. And you're like, well, he abused children. No, he children. He didn't abuse children. He kids. Okay. And that's what's going on here. Okay. These people aren't, using weird aborted fetal tissue to implant in animals. They're cutting up babies and putting their organs into animals. There's a place for like visceral language so that we all understand what's going on here. Okay. And that's a massive problem. So I guess there are three big problems, two there, right? So the fact that this is going on and the fact that people constantly try to dress up a lot of some of the most horrific things that we talk about in society, be it these abortion clinics we talked about last week where they're just collecting child organs to donate to people, be it this creepy company, I don't even know who it is, that's taking portions of aborted children to put into animals for whatever godforsaken reason, or be it Jeffrey Epstein and murdering children. Guys, there's no other way to put that. And if you try to dress that up, you're doing a disservice to yourself and to the kids who were murdered there, okay? So that's like a massive problem. That was a lovely picture of John's face there, John. That was great. I enjoyed that.
Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing.
Now, the other big problem here, okay? And this might be, honestly, I think this is probably slightly more disturbing than the child thing, is this lady is way too hot to be in Congress. I mean, does that not make you question your reality when somebody this attractive is allegedly making decisions for the country? There ought to be, I would argue, there ought to be a hotness limit to who can be in elected office. Like, if you're this hot, okay, because this is a very attractive lady. I think we can all agree on that. John's making squinty eyes, but she's a very attractive lady. I think she's far too attractive to be in Congress. I think you're probably not intelligent enough. I think you probably weren't bullied enough. I think there are large problems with being a hot person in Congress. I think the same thing for whatever this Senator Hawley guy is, okay? That man is a silver fox, and he's way too hot to be in Congress. All right? I don't trust you making decisions for all of us ugly out there, okay? Our lives are fundamentally different. Pretty people should not be allowed in Congress. So that's problem number 2. John, any thoughts either about aborted fetuses, aborted babies, child tissue in animals, or hot people in Congress? I'll accept either one.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, and none of that crap really surprises me anymore. I don't know if that's, true or not, or just like fear porn that they're like selling to the boomers who still pay attention to that, like seriously.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't want to say I don't pay it any attention, but I don't pay it a ton of attention, just because it's like Lauren Boebert. It's and like, do I think that
she's too hot to have an intelligent thought?
No. Do I think that she has any insight on the world? No, but like they use these people to seed some type of narratives, because they do the same thing with the triple name Republican chick who talks about aliens in Book of Enoch.
Anna Luna.
Yeah, they do the same thing with her, where it's like either they seed some type of revelation in the method through these people, or they just seed this type of like fear porn like narratives to just kind of like scare people. I don't really know, but they do use these people.
100%.
They don't know anything, so I don't really pay much of that much serious attention. Is like, dude, I mean, they do the abortive fetuses things with the jabs, like, right? That's how they do a lot of like, research and stuff. Like, they're doing that with everything in like mainstream medicines. Like, these people don't have any type of like moral compass, right? And when you look into all their religious beliefs, you see why they're doing this. So it's like, I don't know if I'm jaded to it or really how to describe it, but I don't like, I'm at the point where it's just like, yeah, they're doing that. Like, this is breaking down to such an extent. Well, it's like, doesn't surprise me that they're just putting it out in the open,
Yeah. Dude, I mean, that's a good point. Neph, you put a video in the Discord. All right, we'll check it out here in a second. What were you saying, John? Yes. So I wonder if it can't be a little bit of both. And I don't want to be that. She's like, yeah, it could be both. Yeah, it could be. But I was talking to somebody earlier today, actually, at work, about how you can get kind of lost is a bad word, but you can essentially take yourself down just such a negative. I guess the word the kids use these days is black pilled, right? I mean, you can take yourself so far down this like road to being black pilled and either just anxious or jaded all the time, one or the other, like numb or just constantly freaking out if you pay so much attention to this. Like, and so I think that's probably a big part of it. Like, we're going to put this stuff directly in front of your face, not John Cena style, because you can't see him, but directly in front of your face so that you have to pay attention to it, so that you're scared, you're worried, or you're jaded, and either you're freaking out or you just don't believe anything anyone says anymore. So when the truth drops, you don't believe it, that kind of thing. And then I think there's probably some like actual, this shit's obviously going on, right? So the question is, what's the purpose behind publicizing it in this fashion? Because I think we can all agree in this general space that Congress isn't investigating these things the way, we used to pretend they were in 8th grade civics class, right?
Yeah, man. And it's almost like they're stress testing like how far they can take it. Like, like bring up like just the most like, outrageous and like crazy crap that probably is going on. Tell the normies that, and then like see if they'll still buy in, It's like, hey, how much can we put in front of them? How much can we get them to deny like what's right in front of their eyes and like still kind of engage with all of this? And like they're kind of stress testing that. I don't know. It's interesting how they play these narratives out.
100%. Yeah. Absolutely. Q, you sent me 3 videos. Which one is the one you wanted us to take a look at on
you mean Nef Hunter? It's the one in your
Nef Hunter, sorry. Yeah, he sent me like 2 or 3 in my DMs, so I'm not sure which one it is.
Go to the latest one.
So, it's hard to tell. It's super difficult to tell which one. Well, yeah, you're exactly right, John. I think you're exactly right. All right, guys, we're gonna try to figure out which one of these Nef Hunter was trying to get us to. The first video. Okay. Nice.
Do you know how to play it?
Do what?
Do you know how to play it?
I think so, John.
Well, let's see.
I think I do.
I
need to share my screen, right?
Yeah. Share your screen, put the audio in, all that good shit.
Yeah, stand by. I'm working on it, folks. I've got to learn how to do this anyway, because we're gonna start. We're gonna start doing some just random streams sometimes. So stay tuned for that. Look at that, John. I did it. Are you proud of me?
I am. Now does it have audio?
How do I make sure it's sharing audio?
Well, you have a mute thing on here, so I'm assuming you got the audio. I'm assuming you selected the right one, so hit play. Unmute it.
It's not.
All right, we're good.
You hear that?
I can hear it. I'm assuming the chat can hear it too.
Yeah, chat. Let us know if you can't hear it. Q, where we need to go to start at 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
6.5 minutes.
Nef Hunter, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to insult you like that. Dude, I apologize. Sincerely apologize. Guys, so it looks like this is Pete Hegseth talking about some kind of National Defense Act. We'll see.
And industrial cooperation. I mean, if you know that the United States government hasn't been in control of the United States for decades now, and it shouldn't be shocking one bit, but still at the same token, it feels very weird and bad to see play out in real time.
And the job he's done is great. We had the auto industry in yesterday. They don't want people to fix their car. I said, that's strange. I never heard of that. They have a thing nobody's allowed to fix their car. They gave a man 7 years in jail, actually, because he fixed his own car. So I thought we'd do something about that.
Sounds very Jewish.
We'll get it all straightened away. Can you believe it?
Sounds aggressively
Jewish. They want a bill that prohibits people from fixing. So if you're mechanically inclined, I went to school with some guys that were, in some cases, horrible students, but they could fix an engine blindfolded. They could take a car apart blindfolded, but they weren't too good at arithmetic and other things, but they were great. And so there's a move on to stop people from fixing their car. Didn't understand it, but we had a great meeting yesterday.
There are a couple of things I do want to talk about
right.
here. Now, for one, of
Skip
course,
into
it's
the
no surprise
13-minute
that
mark.
Trump likes to. And upon doing so, it will end the life of that animal. So, needless to say, if these things were to really spread out, it would have major ramifications on agriculture, farms, and even the beef industry. So, to combat that problem, every week in February, again, the United States government released 100 million sterile screwworm male fly to mate with the females to lower the population. Well, oddly enough, upon doing so, supposedly anyway, for the first time in decades, the screwworm parasite has been found in United States livestock. Very weird how that happens. And reading this article right here, it says,
Damn it.
although it's not a...
All right. We'll try this again, guys. Sorry. Going back to Trump.
Diesel mechanic trying to help professional drivers whose vehicles kept breaking down, sentenced to 1 year in a federal prison for violating Biden EPA rules.
What the
Jeff Paul
fuck?
live with the fascinating story. Jeff, good evening again.
Yeah, good evening, Trace. Troy Lake thought he was doing what was right and keeping our most important drivers in school buses, ambulances, and big rigs back on the road. Instead, he's now a felon and pleading with President Trump to get his rights back. When it comes to anything diesel, Troy Lake knows how to fix it, especially newer EPA-mandated emission systems that seem to be sidelining drivers.
We'd get 200 calls a day. My truck's broke.
From commercial big rigs to school buses and fire trucks, Troy says everyone was breaking down.
The biggest thing I was hearing is that the devices or the truck broke down and not able to...
It's computer.
Or what the government was doing to American people that wanted to work.
When the government caught on, they raided Troy's shop in 2018. But 6 years later, under the Biden administration, he was charged and pled guilty to conspiracy to violate the Clean Air Act. Now on house arrest, Troy spent 7 months in federal prison.
So did I hear
What
that
the
right?
hell?
He was raided in
That's wild.
2018 for doing this when Trump was president, but they charged him with an actual crime when Biden became president, and they charged him for acting to the Trump administration for help power that be wants to make it illegal to work on your own car. Not the older cars, maybe, I don't know, but definitely
Oh, we got the World
AI
Economic Forum
systems
here.
in these cars that have complete control. If you're of your car,
Klaus
this
Schwab.
is something set in motion for quite some time, for years now. If you're listening to the speeches given by the World Economic Forum, they said everybody's going to have an AI-powered car, a self-driving car. If you do not have one, you will be taking public transportation. So yeah, they're going to release these cars 2027 and onward, and they're going to make it illegal to tinker with them. And when it comes to how will they know you mess with the system inside the car, I saw this video off Veritas' channel, which kind of goes hand in hand with this.
So I keep seeing this comment that I'll just pull the fuse, I'll hack the computer, I'll disconnect the switch. No, you won't. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how they designed the system to make it so you can't do that. So modern cars today don't just have computers, they have what's called a TCU, a telematics control unit. It has its own dedicated cellular connection that is always on, and every single sensor in your vehicle is hard-coded to your VIN. So if you tamper with the sensor, pull a fuse, or try to bypass the ECU, the car instantly generates a diagnostic trouble code, a DTC, and because the TCU is always connected, it immediately flags the tamper event to the manufacturer's cloud. Don't believe me? General Motors just banned by the FTC for 5 years because the OnStar system was secretly tracking driver behavior and breaking acceleration to include location, and then taking that information and selling it to insurance agencies. How often? Every 3 seconds. A modern connected car generates up to 25 gigabytes of data every single hour. Ford just filed a patent for its camera that uses machine learning to read your lips, scan your irises, and monitor your heart rate to decide if you're fit to drive. If you just disconnect that DCU, you lose your navigation, your digital dash, your radio, and your insurance company. Who is buying the data? Instantly knows your car went dark. That's a red flag. They destroyed the used car market with Clash for Clunkers. They degraded older engines with ethanol. They are forcing you into data harvesting machines. You cannot hack your way out of this. This is the grid, and you're stuck in the cave.
Dude, that is so disturbing. I wish we had played that earlier on, because that goes hand in hand with this whole like trying to keep people from traveling type thing, trying to keep people inside, man. And I mean, I kind of wondered, like, what's the end game of all of these environmental regulations that they keep pushing through literally everywhere? Like, you can't drive a damn car in California or Nashville or anywhere else without, getting it checked out to make sure it doesn't out more carbon than the government says is okay. This is where it's headed. Like, this is the end game of all that, legislation or whatever you want to call it. This is the end game, keeping people tracked. I mean, tracking people constantly wherever they go, making sure they're saying the right making sure they're not thinking the wrong, making sure they're not driving too fast, driving too slow, going to the wrong places, making sure we know where they're going. Like, this is the end game of all of that. It's not to save the environment. It's not to make sure your great grandkids, can visit Antarctica because the ice caps are going to melt or whatever the hell. It's to track and control people, and I mean it's as simple as that.
I ain't letting anybody visit Antarctica. But
Right.
yeah, you're
True.
right there. It's like it's an effort almost seemingly to me to like start consolidating people into like mass populaces, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like when you get people together like that, it's like not only, there's that easy material aspect, is they're easy to manipulate, control, because you control all of their dependencies, right? The main ones, food, water, shelter, all that But they're also, I think, as kind of seen if you look in scriptures, like they're the most, like they're easy to deceive in that point. Like you look at all of like the most like just absolute vile places that you see throughout the Bible, they're all cities. They're all massive cities,
Right.
So all of that to kind of take away from that like originals, like, hey, go be out in the creator's creation and like, subdue the earth and all of the things that humanity's designed to do. And like all of this, it gets to that end, man.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. The most, vile places from a moral perspective are cities. Like every time.
Yeah, and that's still true today too.
Yeah. It's absolutely true
like
today.
where all the crime and where all like the chaos is, it's in the cities, man.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just having that many people on top of each other, if it's some kind of deception, if it's the damn, we talked about this a little bit with Andrew, but like the damn 5G making people more susceptible to whatever, psyop they're running at the time. Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, they're way the hell worse than any type of other area. I don't even know what to call that, but yeah, way the hell worse.
Yeah.
Damn, that was unsettling. So moving on from things that are going to scare me from going outside, let's talk a little bit about, we just saw the 47th president of the United States, Mr. Donald J. Orange Trump, on discussing how people can't fix cars anymore, which is kind of true. Dude, I saw another discussion a little while back about the fact that like, what?
I said I can't say I know how to fix cars that well either.
I mean,
so.
me either. But somebody was saying like we've
You do your
essentially
own car
made.
maintenance.
I do some, but not like complicated.
Yeah.
I like
I don't even
change
do-
oil and brakes and stuff. Like
Yeah,
I don't do anything.
even do the
difficult.
non-complicated.
But somebody was I can't remember where I saw this. I hate that I can't credit it, but somebody was talking about the fact that we've essentially made technology so complicated you can't fix your own shit anymore. Like now you need an expert for literally everything and literally every part of the thing. Like it used to be if you had a car or a tractor or a computer, you could just fix it yourself because it was simple, right?
Yeah.
Now, like if you have a car, let's say, maybe this place can fix, your drivetrain issue, but somewhere else, they can't fix your engine. So you have to go somewhere else to fix your engine. And then somebody else has to work on the electronics of it. And somebody else has to work on the hydraulics. Like there's so many super complicated pieces that require just an outrageous amount of specialization that you're dependent on other entities. Like you can't be completely self-sufficient in a lot of cases when it comes to that sort of thing, especially with modern vehicles, modern technology. Like we pushed it to a place where it's so even like your refrigerator or your washer or your dryer, like they're starting to become so complicated. Your grandpa who took care of everything from gam, to taking care of the kids, to taking care of the farm. He took care of all the shit, okay? Made sure the pipes were cleaned inside and out. Like, your grandfather, who used to do all that, can't do that shit anymore. You can't do that shit anymore. Like, I used to wonder why I was such a because people older than me could fix stuff and take care of it, and I couldn't. And there's some truth to that. I am kind of a, but reality's changed, guys. You can't change an element in your stove and have it work for another 6 weeks. It's probably the damn computer or something else inside of it. The same thing's true for your car. We're making it so much more difficult for, and not just individual people, but for families and communities to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, man, they've done a great job at like tackling that from all fronts, because it's like, yeah, they've made it so complicated, but they also make, you know, all of this so cheaply to where it's like it's not cost effective really to do that, because it's like, you know, all the parts that are available are going to break down anyway. That's how like modern appliances are, right? They're designed to last like, you know, a handful of years tops. Like, you know, my grandmother had a, I think somebody in my family might still be using it, had a dryer from the 80s that's still running, right?
Yeah, dude,
It's
those
just
things are
built like,
great.
yeah, just built like a tank.
Yeah.
Right. So there's that aspect to it. But then there's also like the aspect that's just like, you know, I don't know how, like with the whole advent of the American dream, like a lot of that you were talking about just wasn't passed down. Is like they kind of got the prior generation to kind of like either fail to value the stuff that they were taught by their parents and their grandparents to pass it down to their kids and grandkids. Right. And like that's on like, you know, the boomers, you know, as much as it is on like the system that manipulated them. So they've kind of set up an entire like, you know, an entire labyrinth of things to attack that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, people aren't passing stuff down the way they used to, be it knowledge or like hard assets, right? Like, stuff's not
Yeah.
getting passed down. I mean, we've talked about it a lot on this show, like even property, you know? That used to be a thing that was handed down from generation to generation. And now these boomers are just selling it off for a $2 million payday for, you know, 2 acres of land.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, this
Yeah.
is the world we live in now.
No.
It's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. But that's the way it is, and it sucks. So, moving on, we just saw a lovely clip of the 47th president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump, who lives in the White House, just to compare apples to apples. And I don't know if you guys, anybody out there, has ever just taken a gander at the White House Twitter page. Enough under my mom has a fridge from the 70s, and it's a tank. 8 cubic feet. That is a big refrigerator. That is a shack of a refrigerator.
That is huge.
And it's cheaper to run than a new efficient one. I believe that wholeheartedly. So I don't know if anybody's taken a gander at the White House Twitter page, but it's super weird. And I don't understand why the White House has a Twitter page to begin with, but if you look through it, it's weird as shit. So go ahead and play that first video. This is, I think, also on the White House's Twitter page here. John, this one right here.
It's on Instagram, but sure.
Oh, that.
Or it
yeah,
was
okay.
it was
It came from.
I
Twitter.
can read now.
Yeah, reading's hard, bud. It's okay. We did go to school in Tennessee. It's understandable. So that's it. White House Twitter video. Just sirens and somebody running. Okay. And then you go on to this next one.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, let's take a look. Some fun music. Another lovely White House Twitter video. Now go to the website that was attached to that, John.
Where is it?
It's here. I'll drop the link. You would have had to click on the website that was in that Twitter. But I'll drop it.
No, I've got it.
Okay.
I'm struggling here. It's just full.
Links are hard. So they built this website, aliens.gov, where they have in giant green glowing letters, "They walk among us." For 60 years, the U.S. government has kept a closely guarded secret. Aliens have been walking among us, living in our neighborhoods, and interacting with us in our daily lives. They've shopped at the same stores, attended the same classes as our children, and lived seemingly normal, I can't read that, seemingly normal human existences. With one exception. They do not belong here. Clearly, this is a website to get illegal aliens out of the country, but they played this so well. They've got the CIA font in bright green on a black background. Like, it looks like this fun disclosure website. It like types it out in front of you. I mean, this is kind of fun. They have a counter for alien encounters across the United States.
That's crazy.
It's
Oh,
a
that's
live
creepy.
alien encounter across the United States.
Flags your location too. Son of a bitch.
Oh, dude, it didn't do that to me. I had my location turned off on my computer browser. I'm sure they can get it, but it didn't. It just showed me the
probably do that.
US. But this is a website you can go to. It's so fun. It's so fun. I don't even know when this dropped. When was that? When was that that tweet put out there? May 26th. So like we're gearing up for Disclosure Day and Get Rid of the Mexicans Day, I guess, is what that's going to be. Very exciting. Very exciting. So guys, if you're bored, go check that out. But in keeping with this little alien theme, we've got the movie Disclosure Day coming out in pretty soon, right? In like a week.
Yeah, June 16th, maybe. Sorry.
I think it's June 16th. Let's take a gander here and find out when Disclosure Day's coming out. Let's see here. June. All I'm seeing is June.
June 12th. It's June
12th. So a little over a week.
Hunter beat us both to it.
He did. I feel like I should be a little embarrassed because I'm sitting at my computer right now.
I am too.
And Hunter beat us to it. Now, we've got Disclosure Day coming out in a little over a week. We've got all this alien that the White House is putting out there. And then Steven Spielberg happened to share some interesting comments about how he thinks his movie will affect religious people. And if you didn't know, Steven Spielberg is mute, so you're not going to be able to hear this. We're going to have to translate for you. All right, there we go. Nope.
Oh, son of a bitch. I didn't even.
You good?
This truth were just known overnight. If the
Thought you were
government
making a
announced,
joke.
Yes, we have been keeping this from you since 1947. That would mess up a lot of people. And the movie also takes the position of the church. What does this do to the fundamental beliefs that many of us have? And is God our God only on this planet, or is God a God for every system where there's civilization, intelligent life, and even developing life?
Dude, I mean, that's kind of in keeping with that gay sounding Republican senator. What's his name?
Tim Burchett.
Tim Burchett, yeah. You know exactly what I was talking about. That's
Yeah.
kind of in keeping with the way Tim Burchett tried to put it out. He's like, I'm Southern Baptist. I think Jesus died for aliens too, And I mean, he's saying something similar, right? It's almost like these people are on the same team. It's kind of weird. Like Steven Spielberg, noted child rapist, and Tim Burchett, noted East Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, God is the God of everything in the universe, right? Their depiction of the universe is probably 95% false in the way that they are painting probably everything that will be in this movie, right? But the biggest difference there is like Jesus died for humans, right? Died for the line of Adam, right? Not whatever, they will reveal these entities as, And like that's that's the biggest separation is like if you're talking like on the main point of theology, right? The main dividing point, like there's a lot that you can put on, but that's it right there. Is like Jesus died for the line of Adam, not whatever this is.
Yeah, and that's going to be the problem whenever whatever this is that's coming down the pipe. Because I mean, I've said it probably way too much on this show, but they keep edging us with this disclosure stuff, right? They keep edging us, saying it's going to happen, saying they're going to come, if you will. They keep edging us, and what it seems to be driving towards is this. I don't know. Like I don't want to call it like this weird spiritual war, but it's gonna be inside of people's minds because they're going to present people with something that looks probably very real, very like visually appealing, very exciting, aliens coming down or whatever the hell this is gonna be. We've already dropped a shitload of files that are like if you sift through them, like some of them are wild, and they're really cool to look at. Like they're nuts.
No.
And it's gonna be folks leading people down the path of well Jesus died for these people too, whatever these entities are, right? They're not human, whatever these entities are. Maybe they're demons, maybe they're I don't know what they are, but they're not people.
And
I don't recall any theology in any of the epistles about the good Lord didst die for the Pleiadians. Like I don't remember that being a thing. In 2 Corinthians or whatever, like that it's not a thing. But this modern 501c3 system that's married to the idea of making the Bible, of making spiritual truth fit with the narrative of the fake, twisted, cultish religion of science that's what they're going to push. I mean, that's what they're going to push on people.
That's 100%. And like, I would tell those people, it's like Jesus didn't die for these entities. It's like he went down and told them to suck it. Right. Like, I mean, he went down to where they are imprisoned and where their descendants are imprisoned. And he told them, it's like, suck it. I want, that's the correct, like theological statement there. And like anything that's like preaching anything contrary to that, like it's lying to you, and like be very, very careful. And they've set up the entire, right. They've set up the modern church system perfectly for this, to where it's like they've basically spent years and years and years of like essentially trying to convince them that the Bible says nothing on this topic, right? So that this, whenever it does reveal itself, is going to be challenging to their worldview. The reality is this is very, very easily explained away by scripture of what these entities actually are, and their nature, right? And that they are opposed to you and that they are opposed to God.
Yeah, dude, I think you're exactly right. And I think that's why they've removed a lot of the wilder passages about that from the canon. Like actually he went and preached Nephilim. He actually went and preached the gospel to them, but also probably told them to suck it. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, I'm talking 100%. Specifically about going where it says, I think somewhere 2 Peter, where he goes down to Tartarus to the spirits in prison. It's like,
guys, if you want to,
there's a different theological statement where he goes and preach to the spirits in Sheol to free them, preach the gospel there.
Right. If you want a more coherent discussion on that, go check out the show we did with Tyler. We'll try to track that down.
Is that on Patreon or is that public?
Oh, I can't remember.
I might should just.
I think that one's public.
That was a solid discussion.
I think that one's the public one, John. I'm pretty sure. I think that one was the first one we did with them. So go.
Okay, good. Because that was.
Go check out the last YouTube show we did with Tyler. Because he discusses that pretty well, actually. That's the first time I'd ever heard that, and it makes a ton of sense. And I mean, I think you're right, man. Like
we talked about that off air. Is that like the recording that we did with Robert back in the old studio?
No,
I think that's what you're talking about, and we talked about that off air, didn't we?
I don't think so. We'll figure this out later and get it to the people.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about that.
Yes, we'll take care of it one way or another. If we need to get Tyler back to talk about it, we will.
Okay.
pretty sure you talked about that on there. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm wrong about this all the time. So the odds that I am wrong are high. But anyway,
back to your point. Sorry.
Yes, son of a bitch. Autism, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get it. Don't get jabbed. So I completely lost track, John.
Sorry.
We were talking about Jesus going down to Sheol and preaching the gospel to people and telling them to suck it, which Steph Hunter pointed out. He probably went down and preached the gospel and told them to suck it. Yeah, I mean, you don't find any. I think part of the reason, I think the 501c3 system in large part exists to keep people away from the level of spiritual truth that will help them to see through this deception. I also think, I mean, you're talking about the Bible parsing this out very well, right? I think that I think very intentionally portions of the Bible were removed or glossed over so that we miss a lot of the more wild supernatural references to a lot of things like this. I mean, Enoch's an easy low-hanging fruit example, but rightfully so, right? Like if you read through first Enoch, it very clearly describes the Watchers coming down, screwing shit up in vivid detail, and it lends a lot of context to what's likely going on with whatever these entities are out there.
Yeah.
So I think there's a reason behind these systems that have captured people's, not just their attention, right? Not just their time, but their souls, their spirit. Like these 501c3 systems have captured people's like innermost being. Like the amount of times I hear somebody, I had a conversation with my ex a while back where she looked at me, guys. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited. But she looked at me and she's like, "Have you been going to church, John? Have you been going to church? Have you been going and sitting in a pew and having somebody preach to you about how you need to come and you need to be here because this is where we preach the gospel?" And look, I don't have any problem with the idea of corporate worship. I don't have any problem with the idea of church. I do have a problem with country club systems that exist, and it's not the money thing, man. Like that really doesn't bother me that much. You can take my cash. I don't give a shit. But it's the fact that you're funneling people in these doors to preach them this sick, twisted, watered down version of the most important truth that humanity could ever hear. And that is something I have a massive problem with. Massive. That's completely unrelated to Steven Spielberg, though. So,
well, I mean, not really, given what he's talking about. Like, right? He's talking about this as being a deception for, like, the modern Christians. And for a lot of people, it will be, because it's like we've kind of set up with this very, a lot of it like intellectual view, like all of like scripture is just kind of this intellectual construct and none of it really happened. And it's very, very, it's very, very dangerous. Like, right. I kind of agree with you that a lot of, the supernatural worldview of scripture has been like glossed over, right, to kind of like lower people's defenses to this kind of thing, right? Because it's like I've been reading Doc's book in preparation for his for the episode that we're gonna do to him, or do with him.
What are we gonna do to Doc Brown, John?
What?
The episode we're gonna do to him.
Sorry, I'm reading at the same time I'm talking. I should probably just do one or the other. But the episode that we're gonna do with him, and
yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He says in the book that like, hey, this isn't a salvation issue, right? And I do agree with them, right? It's not a salvation issue. The only salvation issue is like, right, belief in Jesus Christ as the Messiah, right?
Yep.
That's the only salvation issue. But this stuff that we're talking about is like, it's a defense issue, right? Because it's like, scripture's very, very clear that there are going to be deceptions that are really, really powerful and really, really convincing. And if you're not kind of rooted in like what the Bible is actually saying and what scripture is actually saying, you're starting like a leg behind almost.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
And I think that, there's been a perfect setup for that, man. and the stuff that's going to come out with the alien ship, that's kind of what I've been saying. I think that's a big thing that's going to do it, because it's like there's been so much, especially in like Protestant Christianities, where like we cannot view scriptures the truth. We have to have it match whatever like the secular system of science or these secular authority systems are saying. We'll kind of morph the language, we'll kind of morph like different interpretations to make it to where it's like it can kind of seems like it matches up with that, but when you really dig into it, it just falls apart every time.
Yeah. Dude,
So, yeah.
100% true. 100% true. And the whole idea of it not being a salvation issue, I think there is some truth to that. I'm not trying to argue that point. I think you're very right. Like it's not necessarily a salvation issue, but I will say this: it's such a grand deception, the kind of things that these people are trying to get you to believe, right? Or not believe,
Right.
really, in this case. The kind of worldview they're trying to get you to accept is one that the more I familiarize myself with the spiritual teachings that come from the Bible, seems almost in borderline direct opposition to the stuff that's inside of that book. Because we're making such a concerted effort to water down the truth of the Bible, John, the Bible, the book, the Bible.
The teachings in the Bible are contradictory. Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
Son of a bitch. All right, so focus on me. Stop reading or whatever you're doing.
No, I was listening there. I just didn't track. I didn't track what you said.
So the things that they're teaching in a lot of these 501c3 systems,
Okay.
right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this stuff we're talking about is a full-on salvation issue, okay? But in a lot of ways, I'm not going to say it's not either, because the things that they're trying to get you to believe, right? The things that they're trying to get you to accept are in such stark opposition in a lot of cases to the actual real truth of biblical text. Yes, Q, thank you. Stop reading the chat, John, or whatever you're doing over there. In complete opposition to that. And so, sure, like it might not be a complete salvation issue if you think Enoch's inspired, right? It's not. Like it's whether or not you think that Jubilee should be included in the Bible, not a salvation issue. But whether or not you believe that this supernatural happens, right? That this is the world we live in, I think ends up being a salvation issue because, you're right. The core tenets of the Bible and the New Testament are very simple, like very simple. I've said it for a long time. Like there are 2 commandments in the New Testament. Yeah, I'm really sorry, Neff Hunter. Did I call you Q again? I'm so sorry, dude. You got dog fights going on at your house? I don't even know why I'm doing that tonight, but like the simple, like there's 2 simple commandments and tenets in the New Testament. I mean, this argument a million times, like love God, love people. It's that easy. Like the concepts that Jesus, the concepts that Jesus lays out are very simple, very straightforward. Love God, love people. There's not really much more than that to the new covenant that he puts forth. Right? But all the stuff he does to make that come to fruition, all the things that Jesus goes through, that God does to make all of that happen, are so insanely wild and impossible to believe. You have to accept a completely uncomfortable worldview to believe in the text of the Bible. And it doesn't agree with modern science. It doesn't agree with the country club down the road. It doesn't agree with Trump or Spielberg or any of this alien disclosure. It doesn't agree with any of that.
Right.
I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, man. I mean, I think that's pretty well said.
So that's where I think the real alien stuff's headed. That's what I had that titled.
Yeah.
All right. Last couple of things to talk about, guys, because I need to go to bed soon. We've been going for a little bit. Real quick, Elon Musk, we don't just have self-driving cars now for the fat who is too tired to push her obese child around. Okay, America's getting fatter by the second. We have the new, I don't even know what to call this, like robo stroller. Can we get this up, John? A video for the people?
Yeah, pull up the right one.
I linked the wrong thing.
Okay, because this is like a WEF video.
I thought I had made it through a full-on show without linking the wrong thing.
What's even worse is that you freaking like started titling the hyperlinks in our document. Put the wrong
I did.
one. That's awful.
There you go. I put it in the private chat.
Private chat, perfect.
Yeah. We've got a
Just-
full-on self-driving stroller for mommy and me, where you can put your kid in a pod that drives itself around.
Holy!
What kind of hellscape are we living in? Can you imagine just like taking your newborn child and putting them in that thing? The RoboPod by I'm not even sure if this is real. This could just be AI.
$24.99 is price
But-
for a stroller.
Well, I mean, yeah, for
it just says
Tesla
this
products,
is
it
AI,
seems real.
says this is AI generated.
Okay, I would. The problem is, I assumed this was fake, but the problem is, like, we're living in a world now where I will not be surprised when something like that hits the market.
Oh yeah,
Won't be surprised at all.
yeah.
And speaking of Tesla stock skyrocketing, SpaceX stock, whatever the hell, that's hilarious. That's a fun play on words. Let's talk about
Did you do it?
economics.
Did you
for a
do it
minute.
intentionally that time?
What?
Call him Q.
No, son of a bitch. Neff Hunter, I'm so sorry, dude. Car coming down the street, stroller don't stop, it speeds into the car. Neff Hunter, that is true. That's what those strollers are gonna do. Son of a bitch. All right. So speaking of SpaceX stock skyrocketing, let's check out the. I think this was from Neff Hunter as well recently. Let's check out the World Economic Forum and what they had to say about assets that we need to start including in our global balance sheets with this just creepy librarian.
Not the only value on which our
she's very quiet.
depend. We know that every aspect of every part of the economy is fundamentally dependent on nature, as you highlighted. The air that we breathe, the water we drink, the soil, the oceans that we need for the food that we need to consume, the minerals that we need as inputs to technology and infrastructure. And without these forms of value, these forms of natural capital, we won't have economies. They are the fundamental building blocks of our economies. But the ways, as you said, the ways in which we have grown our economies, our models of economic development, have been incredibly successful for global prosperity. But the unintended consequences of current models of growth are simply not sustainable on a finite planet. The amount of resource that we are drawing into our economies, Earth's resources, and the amount of pollution and waste that we're pumping out, whether that's through greenhouse gas emissions, whether that's sewage into our water, whether it's plastics into the ocean, is beyond the Earth's carrying capacity. And we know that that's leading, as you said, to very significant direct impacts for society, but very significant financial costs for the economy. We can look at that as you have and calculate that at a macro level.
Okay. I can't listen to this anymore. Maybe.
Jeez, okay.
That's probably true, dude. If she's British, he's probably right. She'll probably get the
yeah, that's a fair point.
Get the old sand shovel, if you will.
Fair point.
What she's saying here, guys, is that we need to start including things like water, land, dirt, and air into the way we allocate resources and tax people. I mean, that's bone chilling. That concept is bone chilling. And it's one of those lies that the powers that be keep pushing out there, this whole idea that the earth is running out of resources. And I'm not trying to get into like flatty versus globy and all that, but it seems very plain, okay, if you're a person out there in nature. Take a 5-minute walk in a place that is not covered in streets, Californians, and McDonald's, okay? Take a walk in a forest somewhere. Look around you. We have plenty of resources, guys. We're not suffocating from lack of oxygen. We're not running out of oil. We're not like all the trees aren't dying. None of that shit's happening. They're selling this stuff to us like it is. Right? Because it's a great tool for making people so afraid that the earth is going to just implode one day that you need to hand over your freedom, your resources to make sure this doesn't happen. Because just like they ran it in 2020, John, your car could make Gam die. Your car's shitting out carbon dioxide every day. Maybe you could pass away if you keep doing that. That could be a problem. It's the same lie, second time around, second verse. Plenty of resources, still nuke India. Meaty. That's yeah. Nobody's running out of Nobody's running out of I mean, have you guys heard any of these reports about like how cheap gas is in Iran? I think somebody sent us that. It might have been Neff Hunter. But like gas is like a penny in Iran. Which granted, I get it. Like they make all the oil there. But that's a bit of a large price gradient, don't you think?
Yeah.
This whole idea that we're running out of all the natural resources is complete, and it's a narrative that is at its very core designed and engineered to get people to comply and to give up any and all rights they have, not just on a like government level, not just on well, I have my right to the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th Amendment. Not that. I'm talking about your rights to your own sovereignty, your rights to your own soul that they're fighting for. Your right to walk outside and have a conversation with your neighbor about how he got cuckolded last week. You know, like your right to be a person. John, thoughts?
Yeah, man, this is how they sell that Gnostic, right? This is, what we were talking about with Andrew just the other day. It's like, that whole idea of like, hey, we're in a prison planet and we need to ascend. Like on the physical level, that's how they sell it, right?
Yeah.
They sell it as this place that was not designed for you to be here, and they sell it as you are a burden on this place, right? And that this place is something that we can destroy, right? And it's not for you, right? And that, we know that that is complete nonsense, and that's a complete inversion of what is actually true, right? But like, this is the base level of like, this is the base foundation on like how they build all of that, right?
Yeah.
And
for sure.
So it goes far deeper than just the material control that it gives, like, the powers that be.
Yeah. And dude, I'm the first one to say, like, I don't think cities are healthy for people, but I don't think it's because they're using up too many resources.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, there are people like Zach Bush out there. I don't know what to think about him, dude. He's kind of a weird guy, but he'll say like cities look like a cancer cell, and people will take that to mean, oh, well, all people are bad. That's not what that means. It means that the way you're living is really unhealthy and it's bad for you. That doesn't mean the resources you're using up are going to make the earth suddenly shrivel up and die.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's just a complete logical fallacy.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. You go out in nature and like you just witness like this place is pretty good at like healing itself and regrowing and just kind of recycling all of the things that are here. Right. It's pretty remarkable
100%.
to see. So it's
Yeah.
like, any type of that's put out by, these massive institutions telling you opposite, it's like on that. And wipe your ass with it and put it away, because it is false and it is to your detriment.
Yeah, no, there's a book I read in the past couple of years, and it's a little bit liberal propaganda about like keep the earth safe, but one of the main tenets of it is like this place heals no matter what. Period. Like no matter what, this place heals. Even George Carlin had a bit about that back in the day. He's like, dude, I'm not worried about into the world, man. This place is gonna be fine. Like I'm not worried about fossil fuels. This shit's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be long dead, and everything's gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Completely. All right, guys. So I don't want to end on that sad and depressing of a note. So
I
let's
don't feel like
talk
that was
about.
sad and depressing.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I
That
don't want to end
wasn't
on that
sad and
heavy of a
depressing.
note.
I don't want to end on that happy note.
I'm not used to doing that, right? I f this up about half the time. So let's take a look at a couple of fully things that have come out.
Yeah, well,
lately.
I feel like this is way more depressing than what we
Yeah,
just
probably is.
closed
We probably
out
should have
on,
ended it
dude.
there. But I took the time to prepare these, so we're going to go through them, and then I'll be more mindful next time.
Like, this is
HelloFresh
way- this is way
decided
more.
to come out with an ad campaign for Pride Month.
This is way worse. This is way worse.
It's disgusting. Like, they came out and said, official statement, we know eating isn't always top priority this month, and we respect that. But for those of you who are prepping, we have an extensive lineup of high fiber recipes available. That's a statement by HelloFresh, ladies and gentlemen. They want you to have the freshest around.
Jeez, that's disgusting.
So thank heavens for them.
Taking that off screen.
And folks, we've talked a lot about Nephilim and Chimeras in recent weeks. And we talked about a lot about the White House MMA thing. This seems like a combination of both. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but we have half of a human being. I think this is a person trying to do MMA to another person.
Lateral movement, the way he moves from his hands side to side, very hard to track down.
This man is literally just a torso and arms.
Arguably,
Is this a jiu-jitsu fight?
Doing jiu-jitsu with
Dude,
as soon as you see it,
they have like UFC just jiu-jitsu fights, and it's like the gayest shit I've ever watched. Like, why would
just a
anybody
bunch of
watch
dudes
that?
rubbing on each other?
Yeah, I've never understood why anybody would watch that.
I mean, like it's impressive in how difficult it obviously is, but that was quite literally half a man trying to wrestle, just like a normal full-grown man. That guy was cut off at the waist. I don't even know what to do with that. The guy tried to chokehold him and just like couldn't find his leg, so he just gave up. That was amazing. All right, folks. It's been fun tonight. Thanks for listening. Q, I will birth your homunculus if you want me to. I'll carry that. I'll carry that baby. I'll carry that that baby Q. Anything else, John?
No. Be sure to tune in
right.
this Sunday for a show with Doc Brown at 3 p.m. Central. We'll be talking his book, The Epic Vsaw, Seedborn, a bunch of other really good topics that I'm really excited about. I've been finishing up his book this week, and it's solid. So really looking forward to that conversation. The next Friday, on with Stacks and Drew here on our channel. That's going to be a party. So be sure to tune into
Juneteenth
that.
special, guys.
Yeah, Juneteenth.
Check out the
special, and
Juneteenth special.
Not sure what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure it's going to be a good time. And go subscribe to their channel. They're killing it over there. And then after that on the 24th, Ben Baumgartner of End of the World News. It's on a Wednesday. I think it's at 7 p.m. Central. And then out into July 10th, we'll have the Berean File. The guys from the Berean Files on. So a lot of good shows coming up. We'll probably hit some solo shows in between them. So be sure to tune into all those. No, he's somewhere in Tennessee. We'll have to do that at some point. Try to meet up in person, but.
Oh yeah, no, Neff. We just scheduled it for the Zoom or whatever you call this. It'll be via StreamYard, so we're not having him come to the studio. That would be sweet, but
yeah, we'll have to. The studio
we're too poor for that at present.
Yeah, and the studio that we have is not nice enough to bring too many in-person guests into.
Yeah,
we have two decent seats. Our spare couch is a piece of shit. So
right. So we're working on that slowly but surely. And guys, go join the Patreon if you want us to have a less studio. So go check that out. Shout out to our current Patreon subscribers. Neff Hunter, Q, whoever else is in that, JC, I think.
Yeah. Scan the QR code in the top left-hand corner above Carson's head and go check them out. And check out all the content over there. Get
yourself some
post-
stickers.
Yeah, get some stickers at some point when we cut them. We are horrific people and haven't gotten to that yet. And
We're doing a bad
you
job.
get post-show reactions for all of our guest episodes, which are usually pretty fun to record, and some bonus content, bonus episodes, all that good stuff. So go check it out.
Hell yeah.
Access to the Discord, all that good stuff.
That's right.
So,
all right, folks.
Yeah, hang around in the Rumble chat.
Thanks,
I'm going to send y'all over to Already Dead. Looks like they've already kicked off. So,
Are they finally? We always miss them.
Yep.
Nice. All right, guys. I think that's it. Thanks for listening. We'll catch y'all next time.